Bloop.
I understand.
Afterwards, though. All right, all you fancy people in YouTube land. Let's see if we're up and running.
Nope.
Let me in. Stupid thread ad.
But you like thread.
I do like threading a needle. Alright, YouTube's up and running, but Nightbot is slow as usual. He will not catch up, but he'll get faster as we go. Twitch, let's see if you're up and running. It's the final... Oh, actually, it's the starting countdown, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, a little bit.
I love when Twitch says last live just now, but it won't let you into your stream. Are you sure?
It's not sure.
Twitch is, in fact, up and running. We are so far good to go. We shall see how good to go we actually are, since a lot of people having storms. Mine seems to be done, though, so I should be good.
You also probably just jinxed it by saying that out loud.
I know.
You should know the rule.
Oh, whoops, nope, I missed a thing. Hold on. Okay, now I can see all your chats. Nightbot, where are you at? Welcome to the chat room. Uh-oh. Nightbot, are you dead? Didn't pop up on Twitch? That's rare. Oh, there you go. Okay.
Not poor Nightbot.
He still hasn't popped up on YouTube. He's so slow. Also, I don't know how many of you guys out there, or DM Speedy, how often you hang out in YouTube live streams, but they added a new feature, I think 2 weeks ago, where there's a top fans thing, and it's the more you chat, it like creates a ranking system, and it displays like a number next to you for how often you've chatted. And I was like, I see what they're going for, but I don't think people on YouTube are fighting over first in streams. You know what I mean?
Are you telling me that YouTube now has a social credit score?
Kind of.
That's what it sounds like.
It's pretty weird. I don't get it.
I don't think you're supposed to.
What is this on-screen celebration? Let's send in a cool boy. Unleash. Did it do anything? I can't see it. Never mind.
Yep.
Whoops. I would have to be watching the real YouTube, the real Twitch stream, which I'm not. Sorry, everyone. I can see when you do other things. But apparently I can't see on-screen celebrations. Okay. Well, that kind of... I mean, I can still dance, though. This I can see. Do 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 do.
So your scouting worked so hard you disconnected my headset from Bluetooth. And frankly, I don't appreciate it.
You can call me the Scat Man.
Smooth.
I feel bad that like nobody really. I mean, he definitely had a following, yes, but I feel like once they started making memes after he died, he got like that big respect, and I feel like the Scat Man needs a maybe a Doctor Who episode where they get to take him into the future to see what his impact is, like they did for Van Gogh.
Needs a resurgence.
Yeah. Show him some love. Just like us. Show us some love. Hang out with us. Tonight we're going to be talking about dual wielding.
Oh,
So normally on subclasses, what we do is we pick one subclass that's just bare bones, like here's the subclass, and then one subclass that's got like a write-up and something special, and we have enough time to deal with both of those in one stream. But for this one, I was like, I either have ones that have too long a write-up, or I don't have very many now that are just like one bare bones. So instead, I took two twin subclasses. So the first one's going to be dual wielding for barbarians, and then a dual wielding subclass for fighters. And then the second one is going to be two different sorcerer subclasses, but they're all part of the same post. So twinsies!
would you consider a monk a dual wielder? Because they dual wield these hands.
I would say yes, and they don't even need the. Oh, okay. Uh, I don't know if it's spoilers. You guys all already know that I did work on the Scion book. I put up a video for Kibbles' Scion book, and now I'm going through the Inventor book finally. And he has a whole bunch of like mechanical gauntlet devices to make your fists do weird things. And I love that idea. But like Kibbles is specifically because we've looked at them before in items. Like his gauntlets, his punching weapons are some G Club clown titties. I mean, that could be your punching weapon. They can
Excuse
deal
me?
bludgeoning damage.
Huh? What about titties?
I read Awas's chat.
Hey,
his
was.
Kibbles' specific like gauntlet melee weapons are often like wildly overtuned and would be like very hard for the average player to run because they have to go through like so many extra steps to get the most out of them instead of just being like, I deal d6 damage. Or d4 if you want to go the improvised weapon route.
Could you, in fact, give someone a key-based reach around? Asking for a friend.
I in the Discord a couple weeks ago, Foxinator was posting one of his Hero Forge minis, and it was I think it was a sorcerer with a flaming falchion, and I really thought because of the way the flames were shaped that it was a keyblade, and I was like, how come I haven't seen anybody make a keyblade yet?
Because they're afraid of Disney lawyers.
That's a good point. I was gonna say I've seen so many gun blades, but never a keyblade.
Yeah, because do you think you could fight off the army of Disney lawyers?
No. I just saw it came up on my
But could you
feed.
take one in a fight?
Probably. I suspect they are intelligence based and not any physical power based. I just saw someone
Oh,
was like, "Oh, my daughter wanted to play Magic, but there's too much reading involved, and she really likes Disney. So we made her a Merfolk deck with only Disney characters, and we printed it out, and she can play it." And I was like, "They're gonna come for you." And then I thought, "Oh no, Magic will just make a Disney crossover because they're Fortnite now." I'll be honest though, I have literally no problem with that. Put whatever you want in there. Because Magic is like the original Destiny. Like, all the story was elsewhere and you had to go look it up. I don't think there are too many people who are out there right now, like, going out and looking up the Magic lore. So, them adding all these other worlds in there doesn't really get in the way of a lot of it. don't think. What? Nope. I almost sent a nitro boost to a comic array. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. I mean, it's cool and all if you guys want to send nitro boosts to a comic array, but I no. Actually, speaking of that, DM Shin, I think you are the one who sent a nitro boost to a comic array.
I was at one point. Hello, stream. What's going on?
Is he the one?
I like that. I like that I appeared simultaneously to you starting a statement about me. I don't know if you saw me and just like, this is the perfect
Oh, I
time.
did. It was the perfect time. I
Okay.
summoned you.
Okay. Okay. I was gonna say because a lightning bolt struck and I joined the call and I was just like, God
No,
damn it,
literally as you struck and he made that comment, a lightning bolt just hit outside my apartment too.
goddamn Sidon out here doing some bullshit.
That bitch.
That's my grandpa. Well, was.
I got a
In my
message.
version of- Oh, we got a message.
I got a message from DM Bacon today, and I was like, oh, he never messages me on Discord. What's this? And it was a response to what I put in after last week's session with him, and he was like, oh, I'm sure Dio would have some choice words for his grandfather.
Oof. Oof. Oof.
Would it in fact
Absolutely.
be you a hoe?
No, so I've talked about this campaign that the Dio absolutely would be sharpening his shield to slam it further into his grandfather's face. One of the cool things about my monk in that campaign, Dio was a Black Dragonborn, is that I was a Way of the Shield monk. And basically,
Ooh.
I got to use a shield on my hand and add its AC to my damage bonus. So basically, I punched people, and then I got to learn basically shield tricks. So I actually had a trick there. If I could leap off of my shield 30 feet into the air, and then land at another spot 30 feet away. I could literally vault off my own shield, and if I wanted to, I could make an attack with opportunity. So I could pretty much vault and strike at a certain point. It was dope. It was dope as hell. I could later on learn how to throw. I could later learn how to throw my shield if I wanted to, but I then got a staff of lightning, and I also gained a belt of giant strength.
Ooh.
So I kind of just decided, nah. And then my breath weapon gained, utility. I could recharge. So I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, and I also had a shield that allowed me to cast Thunder Wave 3 times a day, or I could put the head of a monster into the mouth of the lion.
That's so cool.
What the hell?
Yeah,
Oh,
12 grand.
that's so cool. What a good.
It was a dope time. It was a dope time. I had a lot of fun.
Oh, I imagine.
I shout out to Dio. Shout out to the Dragon Lords, Ulrich, Leaf, my boy Zuthos. Shout out to all of them. Dio misses them out there in the world.
Wait, now is this the +3 crossbow campaign?
Yes. Yes. This is also a campaign in which my character went through an anime protagonist love arc. So we met a character early on at one point after we kind of became a little famous in the city, and my character attempted to flirt with the character, right? Just a little bit, because my character saw that she was a Gorgon, but didn't want to look at her face fully, so he didn't turn. But also was kind of just like, hey, people don't know what I am either. So maybe we can bond. Because he had never met another person. And basically got betrayed. Ended up swearing to kill her, and then later on got the chance to lop her head off.
And then you put it in the shield, you jerk.
Yes, and then I utilized it to fight a Hydra. Her sisters let me do it, so it was all good. But so that character then later on, when we got a brothel in our game, he became favored by the matron of the brothel, and the campaign at the time the campaign ended, in which I learned I asked my aunt, who was a famous seer in the land, to go take care of my I guess baby mother and future child that was unborn and take them to the temple for protection from Sidon. It was a very, very wild campaign by the end. We were riding dragons, we were fighting shit. It was wild. I suplexed the griffin.
You laying wenches.
No, I suplexed a griffin.
That's hot.
That's
So
right.
I caught a griffin. We were fighting a griffin on the boat of on our ship, and I caught a griffin with a stunning strike. It was in the air over the side of the boat, so it fell. And so in its falling, I used bonus action to elbow drop, and I got a nat 20. And so he was like, "How do you do it?" I was like, "I want to," as I'm elbow dropping, I catch the neck and I just slam it into the. I just full body slam its head into the water without falling in. Just, it was a good time. It was a good time. I miss being. That was the most fun I've ever had being a monk. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And that's actually the only time I've ever played a monk in a campaign.
Really?
Yep. Monk is not the first class I picked. Monk's not the first class I picked because I wish druids had innate monk stats. AKA, I wish druids could just straight fight hand to hand and use like cow energy. I'm thinking about making a Taoist though.
Definitely rogue was the first class I went for.
What about you, Speedy?
I'm sorry, I was getting a phone call. What was the question?
What was your first D&D class?
That would be if I remember correctly, a Hexblade Warlock.
I could see that about you.
Yeah, that tracks.
That tracks.
Oh, but here's the thing. I made him a basically pure melee class, and I would swap out my melee weapon using my bound blade to suit the situation at hand.
Oh, okay. Speaking of that specifically, it was like our first or second subclasses. Somebody was like basically the subclass for Warlock was the director from Control, and
yes.
the guy made like the most absolutely complicated form changing gun we'd ever seen. Like, it had like 18 different modes and different steps, and you had to roll different dice to see which one you had.
And I understood what he was trying to simulate when he was doing it, but the issue was, so I'll give you a fine example to even take it out of that for people who don't know Control. If you go with elements on a character, right? Well, everyone always wants to give a character access to every element. But at a certain point, you have more elements and more abilities than you do necessity for any of them, because 3 to 4 of them are really useful. Quite honestly. You usually stick to 3 or 4. Some are situational. But let's be honest. The only time you use that OP spell is when you're against a level 1 mob and you know it's just going to obliterate everything, and you just feel like, haha, I'm back at the beginning of the game. Let me show dominance. Or you want some epic ending in your fight, and you literally are like crying to the heavens with like some limit break level move. I know I absolutely, in one of my times beating Final Fantasy VII, killed Sephiroth with Omni Slash.
Oh, for sure,
And
for sure.
another time with Knights of the like I had to kill with Omni Slash. I had to kill with Knights of the Round. And then one time I had to kill with Bahuma Zero.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all.
So
I can't either.
So that is, but at a certain point, you just don't need all of the bloat. And I feel like that's kind of what that was.
Yeah.
It was just like, hey, stick to. It's one thing if you want to give utility to it. So let's say like level 1, you can use the gun to create rope and like a solid material. Level 3, you can use it to create like a ladder and a block you can stand on top of the other two things. Like if that's how you want to increase the options, sure. Because there will be various uses for various things. And it can get a little bloated. Or you can just refer to a table of just general things. You know? It doesn't have to all be options. Refer to miscellaneous items table, appendix C. Boom.
Yeah.
It's 50 feet of rope to ball bearings, you know? That's fine. But the control option that they gave, it was like, well, if you want to sub-scatter shot with a 30-foot additional range with the piercing sight of God, I was like, stop.
Too far.
Stop
Too
it.
far, bro.
You've gone too far.
I mean,
So
no.
I can't. I'm not allowed to comment on this because I did have I made a lightsaber in one game that I made a joke to the DM, and I learned never to do that when the DM thinks it would be funny. Every time I ignited it, I had to roll a d20. If I rolled a natural 20, the thing moaned sexually.
Oh, I mean,
But otherwise, when I ignited, it didn't do like the lightsaber ignition noise. It did like a wail of the damned because I essentially made it out of the soul of my character's father, who was literally the Lord of Hell, and the hilt was made of the horn of his sister that he defeated in battle.
Sweet baby, Jesus.
That's some lore. That's some big lore.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And you were level 1?
No, I wasn't level 1. I was. Shit, I think we were. Fuck, I don't remember where we were. I think we actually hit level 20 for shits and giggles.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay.
that
I
makes
was
more
gonna say.
sense.
Yeah. I was thinking, if you were level 1 doing this shit, I would have gone to your DM and be like, hey, hold on.
That's a pretty big start.
Like, what do they do at level 2, bro? That was my next question. What are you doing at level 2?
So the reason
they can just beatbox with God.
the reason I thought of that is because I was going through Kibbles' inventor book, and one of the subclasses for his inventor is the Thundersmith. And the Thundersmith's specialty is that they can make one of 6 weapons that deal thunder damage, generally. You can switch it to lightning later on. But it's like a hand cannon or a rifle or a sniper rifle or a shotgun. And
Why not just rifle and then, hey, you can now add a scope? Why make a whole other?
So the thing is, you put different upgrades on it. Like instead of the normal artificer being like, oh, I have my infusions, my little infusions. It's like all those infusions are specific to your weapons. So you can build one and then infuse just that gun with all the stuff you want, or you can build multiple of them and put different infusions on them so that you're ready, but you can only wield one of them at a time. And the level, I think it's the level 14 ability for him was choose one of your Thundersmith weapons. If you have more than one, you can change its form at will to one of the other modes. And I was like, this makes so much more sense than 4 pages of dialogue to tell me how my one gun can be every gun ever.
Yes. Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna say it. Simplify your life as both a player and a DM. I love having infinite options, but even Goku only uses the Kamehameha.
Yeah.
He can split into people. He can do solar flare. We've seen him do destructo disc. We've seen him use the whole. What happened to the split and mix? Disappeared. I've seen him. He used to be able to throw the spirit bomb and control it like Yamcha did at one point. We've seen it happen. But let's be honest, he only goes Super Saiyan and beats the hell out of somebody with Kamehameha.
It's true.
And then instant dread.
Or just to fist them real hard.
Every once in a while, it's a super dragon fist.
It's true.
But not to be confused with an iron fist. It will appear later.
He sure will.
But my big thing just comes down to don't over bloat it. Just keep it simple.
Yeah,
please.
Simple.
For the love of God. For the love of dog. All right? Just everything.
And
anything, everything, all.
I understand. If you've read some of the homebrew stuff that I'm putting out there, there's a lot of over-explaining a single point. That is just because of my specific core group of players. I have to over-explain.
Okay. But tell me, Okami, what are we getting into today?
So today, what we're going to be looking at are 2 sets of twin subclasses. The first one we're going to be looking at, if you are on YouTube, you can follow. Oh, I'm going to give you guys this file in a second. I just realized it's a file, so I mean you could download it as well. I'll get through this part first. Is the Savage and the Striker dual wielding subclasses from the Arcane Athenaeum. So this is a dual wielding class for the subclass for the Barbarian and a dual wielding class for the Fighter. If you're on YouTube, you can drop the description down and follow along with us. If you're on Twitch, you can click this link right here, which I'm going to pin for the next 30 minutes. Bloop. It is it is a DM's Guild thing, but it's a choose your own price, so you could pay what you want, 0, if you really wanted to. I will send you guys in DM Roundtable the file so you could follow along easier.
Yay!
Why, thank you.
Bloop. I went and double checked. It was never updated, so 1.0 is where we're at.
1.0 is where we're at. Damn, it's only 3 pages? What the hell?
Yeah, so normally what we do here on DM Roundtable is when we do subclasses, we go for one like really well fleshed out subclass and then one that's just straight bare bones. Tonight we're going through 4 bare bones subclasses, which I think we can do. It's like just this is all they got.
Yeah, but don't worry, we've got enough in our brains to fill the rest.
Yeah.
But what are we talking about? Looks like a little bit of a hand-to-hand combat. It seems like okay. Yeah, you throwing the fisticuff. Wait, AWAS, you lost us, but we're back.
Maybe OBS was right. OBS said I was not connected to anything.
OBS was just like, yeah.
But I didn't believe it. Maybe it was right, because the chat kept going. I'm gonna
What's the last thing you heard, AWAS? What's the last thing you heard, AWAS? Curious. Was I here the last you heard?
You heard.
So what we're hearing is you summoned yourself and broke Twitch.
It's true.
I just see a high Shin.
So that probably means that it was before I appeared, which means yes, the crack of lightning probably took out Discord.
So you are the problem here, is what I'm hearing.
Bum bum bum.
I am the grandchild of a storm sorcerer.
It's true. So to answer your last question, then we've got me and DM Speedy and DM Shin and DM Lacara might make it later. VF has opted not to join us. He doesn't really care about subclasses.
That's a fair.
And like, hey, that's fine.
He's like, I have no chime in here.
Not going to be mad about it. So, we're going to be taking a look at some dual-wielding subclasses. And when I say dual-wielding subclasses, I mean like these two subclasses are literally like the Arcane Athenaeum was like, yo, I don't like how dual-wielding is just a feat and it never feels good. I'm going to make a subclass that's all about dual-wielding so it can feel good.
Go crazy.
So speaking of that, who wants to read Barbarian Path of the Savage?
That sounds like a very janky Shin.
I got this for you. Well, if you feel like you need to spice up the life of your barbarian, which, quite honestly, I don't think anyone needs to, because you are just pure, unadulterated, sweaty, muscly rage. You may choose the path of the savage. Barbarians who bitterly despise civilization and its laws even more than often follow the path of the savage. If there's no Slim Jim involved in this ritual, I'm going to be very upset. Be they a tribal outcast, a nature worshiper, or a member of a crew of cutthroats, those that embrace their primal rage learn to channel it the most brutal fashion. I think they meant to say learn to channel
it in the most brutal. Yeah.
Yeah. This one like 1.0 was like no editor for sure.
Hey,
he was like I wrote it.
You need to understand the barbarian wrote this.
True. You got us.
Intelligence, dump stat. An unrelenting force of chaos, savages carve through ranks of enemies wielding a weapon in each hand, swinging wildly at any target that dares to venture too close. Savages are outsiders in most social settings, scoffing at the concept of politeness and courtesy. Loud, rough, and wild savages turn heads as often as they lop them off. I'm just imagining they're always at the salty spittoon.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at third level, we're just going to take a look at the features here. Third level is going to give you dual wielder and savage rage. DM Speedy, why don't you tell us a little bit about dual wielder?
Well, you see, when you learn to rage as hard as them, your fighting experience has given you the skills needed to wield multiple weapons at once. When you choose this path at third level, you receive the dual wielder feat for free.
That's not bad. It's pretty feat one level early.
Yeah. A free feat at that. Okay, interesting. This was written in 2014, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This was written in 2014. Okay. Well then, Okami, what else do you get at level 3?
You also get Savage Rage. Starting at third level, the fury of your rage transforms you into a relentless whirlwind. While raging and wielding a weapon in each hand, once per turn when you make an attack with a melee weapon, you can make one additional attack with your offhand weapon as part of the same action. So right off the bat, you're getting your 3 swings. And then later it'll become your 4 swings or your 5 swings, depending on how far you get.
Yeah, it kind of becomes your... I was going to say, doesn't it become your 5 swing pretty quick? Because 5th level's extra attack.
Yep, after 5th level will be... Oh, I see what you're saying. I didn't even think of that. You're right.
Well, isn't there also part of the dual wielder feat where you can use your offhand weapon as a bonus action? Because this is saying part of the same action. So in theory, if I'm thinking this correctly, you already get 3 attacks at level 3.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the 3 at level 3, and then at 5, I was thinking that would be 4. But the way it is written, rules as written, you are correct, DM Shin. Every time you make an attack during your attack action. So when you have 2, it'll be 5 swings at level 4.
I'm just seeing the barbarian from Diablo just spinning.
Basically.
Yeah. You're just a whirlwind of slice and dice.
That's a lot of attacks. I'm
giving myself 2 hammers.
You are correct. As written, that would be every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's scary.
I think they meant an extra swing per attack action, but that's not what they wrote.
That's not what they wrote. And
gotta watch what you write.
And guess what? If you don't watch what you write, you're going to learn that your players are, in fact, untamable. Because at 6th level, while raging, you are immune to being put to sleep or charmed. And entering your rage ends any charm condition on yourself. So, succubus, or like you get hit by the charm person spell by the enemy cleric, and he's just like, I think you really want to be my friend, or the enemy bard, and you're just like, no, fuck this. You get angry, and you just start wailing around with 2 weapons.
I'm finding it utterly hilarious at the fact that because you learned how to use both of your hands for combat, suddenly charms don't work on you.
Opposable thumbs have unlocked the ability to prevent charms.
The succubus is like, come to bed, baby. Don't you want a piece of this? And you're just like, no, do you want a piece of this? And it's just his fists.
Yeah, listen, you just have tattoos on both your fists, tender loving.
You have to absolutely give him Tavern Brawler. At 4th level, Tavern Brawler. Just
straight up hell no. Well then wait, wouldn't your other hand count as your offhand weapon for your bonus action?
Yes. Actually, yes, because you have dual wielder. It doesn't state. It just says your offhand weapon. Technically unarmed our melee weapon. Well, I don't know. Does it doesn't state melee weapon? Or does it say melee attack?
When you make an attack with a melee weapon. So you gotta be holding something. So yeah, Tavern Brawler would work. An improvised weapon is still a weapon.
Mm-hmm. Imagine if you subclassed into a monk. You just do all that flurry of blows.
You do all that.
Yeah, at level 3, I want to attack 8 times per turn.
No, you become a Kensei. So you get favored, so you have a favored weapon.
Oh my god.
Oh, yes.
You dual wield your favored weapon.
Oh god. I was thinking this was okay, but you could min-max the shit out of this subclass.
I did it by accident. I don't even like min-maxing.
If you really hate your DM, do this. Because the power of your pure, unclothed chutzpah will get you everywhere. Mm-hmm.
You don't have to spend $1 on armor.
Nope.
Your unarmed defense will literally skyrocket you.
At what level and at what AC do your nips become piercing weapons? Maybe when you're in a rampage.
I think you should take this one.
You're right, I made the bad pun. Starting at 10th level, you can unshackle the beast within. All hot. Resulting in a violent one-person stampede.
What?
You can use your action to move up to your speed and make a single weapon attack against each creature of your choice that passes within your reach. This movement provokes attacks of opportunity as normal, but creatures have disadvantage on any attack roll they make against you. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain expended uses when you finish a long rest.
What? Okay, hear me out. This is just an evolution of reckless attack, but it is the meanest I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's called ruthless attack.
This rampage should just be renamed Fuck It.
Yeah. Listen, guys, I'm probably gonna. Well, actually, you won't explain any of this to your teammates. They're just gonna hear you howl with rage as you charge into the enemy squad.
I'm quoting the Juggernaut the whole time. I'm gonna beat your ass. You're all gonna beat your ass.
Holy no way! What if you combine this with the next thing you get at 14th level? Jesus.
Right? Okay. This is
God.
bloodlust! Blood for the blood god!
You literally broke the barrier of sound. You went into sheer utteral just static.
Bloodlust. Beginning at 14th level, killing both enrages and invigorates you. Whenever you reduce a creature to 0 hit points, the next weapon attack you make before the end of your next turn. So this goes on to your next turn. If you're done swinging for some reason, but you have like 8 swings at this point. All of your attacks will be made with your next attack is made with advantage, and you gain temp HP equal to your barb level. So if you juggernaut bitch a whole squad and cut them down, even if they're swinging at you, you're just healing as you're like. I was originally thinking axes, but now I'm just thinking hammers. So like people are stabbing you as you're like literally decapitating them with the hammer, just hitting them like baseball swings, like home runs everywhere, and you're getting more and more powerful each time.
Imagine you do this through a group of like 4 like tiny ass goblins, and just like, oh yeah, there's 48 HP.
No, what you need to do is you need to be like, oh, hey, is that the enemy army? Yes. You slap the belted, like, storm giant strength on this guy. You hand him his 2 maces. You bless both weapons.
He goes into a rage. No, listen, you hit him with rage. He rages. You hit him with long strider. You hit him with haste.
Oh my god.
And
you basically just tell your barbarian to go do a crime.
Yeah, and they just go, hey, bless. And he just walks forward. Just, I'm gonna beat your ass.
This just sounds like the equivalent of saying, literally, like, you're just telling this guy, hey, there's a Canadian, like, hey, listen, the hockey puck over there, go get it.
I'm just imagining the most swole guy in human history with hammers, like holding them both out and then proceeding to Michael Jackson spin in a whirlwind of destruction. Just proceeding to mow down an army, and it's glorious.
This is...
Annie, are you okay? Absolutely not. He got a nat 20 on.
At first I was thinking he's running while doing this, but then I was like, yo, it has to be like a Marvel Rivals type aura farm where you just walk slowly past all these guys, and they're like stabbing you as you go, and you're just like, wham, and turning them into giblets, a fine paste as you go by.
No, Okami, do you remember the end of G Gundam when they do the Love Sekiha Ten Kyoken and the King of Hearts comes out?
Yes.
I need you to have so much aura that you stand there after buffing, and in your rage, literally your aura as an essence charges forward with the weapons and kills people for you before you get there. Just you're not even an astral self monk, but your astral self just beat everybody's head.
No, I just had something come into my brain, and now I can't unsee it. You guys watched Castlevania, right?
Which one?
The one on Netflix. The original one.
Yeah.
Do you remember when they cornered the vampire camp in the morning and she put on the fucking day armor?
Oh, yeah.
That's just, instead she has 2 gigantic swords and 0 fucks to give.
Oh my god.
Oh, basically.
So as you're just cleaving through the army, you're just slurping up all the juices in the air.
All right. I'm going to say something. Hot take.
Oh.
I honestly think that, like, with your 10th and 14th level abilities here, your barbarian is going to be able to keep up damage-wise with the casters.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%.
Oh yeah.
I think this is the first time I've ever seen that.
Because, I mean, think of it this way. How many attacks do they have at 14th level?
Too many.
Let's find out. I actually don't know, so let's find out.
7?
Take me there.
When you get, remind me, when you get the extra attack action, you don't get another bonus action, right?
No.
Yeah. So they have the one extra bonus action, and then they have what, the 6 attacks? Yeah. No, you're done.
Yeah, but
barbs only get 1 extra attack. But still,
the thing, Savage Rage lets you make an additional attack anytime you make an attack with a melee weapon. So naturally, if you have the extra attack, you're already raging. You're at 14th level is when you get the final ability, which means if you go to a level 20 campaign, because it's 2020, obviously, 2024 edition, because they're not going to make you. Well, guess what, Chief? Now you've got an additional 6 levels of fighter, monk, something. Go monk, get that Kensei bonus for the last 3 levels, and guess what? Become a whirling dervish of doom.
Because Rampage, also, you're going to be faster than you would normally because you're a barbarian. They get a speed boost anyway.
Correct.
Rampage doesn't say you have to move in a straight line. It just says you can move up to your speed. So potentially, you could be swinging at everyone, at one person for each of your 5 feet. So that's like 8 swings, plus the extra, if you're swinging with your main hand, 2 swings at that many people. 16 swings? Like, it doesn't even matter that you don't have the extra attack.
Literally at what? Because you have 6 levels of monk? I'm just saying, it's the 6th. Think monk. Yeah, you get empowered strikes at level 6. And then if you did the...
This is... Oh my... This is...
that's the new monk. Hold on, let me go back to the good one.
Yeah, you gotta scroll down lower to get to Legacy.
Yeah, I know. I realized what I was reading. I'm like, this doesn't look right.
We need that Kensei action.
Yeah, so let's see what Kensei's get. At 6th level, they get 1 with the blade. You put your key into, so it makes all of your weapons magical.
Okay, there you go. The game's over. So now you have every weapon. Throw him 2 sticks with Tavern Brawler. They're magical now.
He's putting hockey in sticks.
Guys, it's not even. No.
You're playing Gachi Yakuta. The new anime just came out. You're literally playing Gachi Yakuta. Like, this is literally what you're doing with your free time.
No, you're misunderstanding. You forgot about agile parry as a Kensei. If you make an unarmed strike as part of your attack action, you just get a +2 to your AC until your next turn.
As you run
he doesn't care about being hit. He's lopping heads off.
He doesn't give a shit.
At level 3, you can deflect arrows. So you're literally just walking forward, just like an arrow, and then you can use a key point to throw it back. Just in the middle of swinging your blades, you throw your blade up, your hammer up in the air to catch an arrow to fling it back at perfect accuracy. And a shooter.
We're thinking about this.
And kill his friend.
We're thinking about this wrong.
We also have a whole other subclass.
I know, but this is the best part. I just remember the Way of Long Death, the Hour of Reaping at level 6.
Oh.
Yeah, you gain an ability to just terrify everything within 30 feet of you, and at level 3, you can gain bonus 10 HP for your Wisdom and your Monk level.
Oh my god.
So on top of that, have another 10 HP every time you kill something. Oh no, wait. Or the Way of Shadow, where you just a teleporting raging monk in the shadows.
You become what the hell is your character's name from the Empowered? You're dude in the Fundoshi.
Yeah. Just in the Fundoshis. Wanna get through the shadows?
Is that guy naked? And the guy can't even answer because his head just got lopped off?
Yeah, it's just like, huh?
It's that anime cut where he doesn't know his head's been cut off, but no sound comes out and his head slides
imagine
forward.
A swole as fuck barbarian teleporting behind you saying nothing personnel, kid.
All right, I think you guys can understand from how much we're loving this right now that this one's getting added to the repository.
This is some bullshit. Honestly, I love it.
Honestly, I would break. Honestly, this is good as it is. That I kind of want to break it down for most variations of monk myself. Like, I feel like this should be built into the barbarian. I mean, kind of like per how it is already. Like this almost feels that good in certain places.
This is a good subclass. I tell you what.
Especially, I think especially Untamable and Rampage. I think every barbarian subclass needs that.
I love any of the subclasses that give you something extra for your rage. I just think it's such an integral part of the class that they should all just have something special and cool as part of the rage.
Mm-hmm. Except turning into a bloody roar character. Leave that to the druid.
I can understand that.
But if you're not gonna dual wield in the savage ways, Okami, what else could you be according to who's the author of this?
The Arcane Athenaeum.
Arcane. Okay.
And I will say, from what I can tell, they only release subclasses in pairs like this. So, since Barbarian was so good, I think we might add some more of their stuff to go through at some point. I'll look into the rest.
I also love how the third page just simply says, it's simple math, really. 2 weapons are better than 1.
It's true. It's true. It's all true.
Like, there's no lies to detect.
No. So for your fighters, you can go strikers. To most seasoned war masters, wielding multiple weapons is more style than substance, reserved for street performers and circus acts. Strikers disagree. They hold that within these flashy maneuvers lies an effective fighting style that uniquely blends offensive and defensive capabilities.
Oh.
Ooh. I'm gonna let somebody else take these features, but tell us about dual wielder for the striker.
Well, if you're a striker, you're sorry, I didn't even cut you off.
It's quite okay. No, please, you already started.
Yeah.
I insist.
Well, if you're a dual wielder, your extensive training provide you with the necessary skills to wield multiple weapons at once again. When you choose this martial art type at 3rd level, you once again get the dual wielder feat, and when you reach 15th level, you gain an AC bonus from the dual wielder feat, increases to +2. Kind of cool.
Oh, because you're offense and defense.
Editing. This is actually editing the feat that you're already getting, which I kind of think is dope.
Yeah.
To make that little edit.
If you've made it all the way to 15th level, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that tracks.
Speedy, would you like to take dual weapon?
Well, I just realized, because the AC bonus would be +2 per weapon.
Dual wielder feat just gives you a +1 if you're wielding 2 weapons.
You're right. My bad. Misread that. Anyway, for your dual weapon flurry, at 3rd level, when you use your bonus action to make an attack using 2 weapon fighting, you can make 2 bonus attacks instead of just 1, attacking with each weapon once. In addition, when you use action surge, you gain the ability to strike at an enemy with both weapons at once.
Oh dear.
Whenever you hit a creature with a weapon attack during your action surge and are wielding 2 weapons, you can deal additional damage to the target as if you had also hit them with your 2nd weapon, using the same 2-hit roll as the triggering attack.
Oh.
Interesting.
So, like, you're surging so quickly that you become an anime character, and you're swinging your 2nd weapon in the shadow of the first. You're Fuma shurikening this bitch.
Now, unfortunately, rules raw. If you're doing this at a high enough level where you have 4 attacks, can you do that 4 damn times?
Well, I think rules as written. Well, rules as. I think yes, because your action surge doesn't give you like the whole multi-attack action; it just gives you 1. So, and then 2, and then 3. So I think yes, when you're doing that, you're gonna do double damage for each of them.
Bro, hell yeah! I want dual wielding katana magic.
That's how they're. I'm realizing that's how he's there or they. I have no idea how many people are in the Arcane Athenaeum, or if it's just one person. But that's how they're balancing out this guy doing a ton of hits versus the barbarian doing a ton of hits.
I see what you're saying. Interesting.
Oh. Who's up next? Okay. Is it me?
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you want to talk about this lower defenses?
Lower defenses. Starting at 7th level, you can attempt to use your offhand weapon to temporarily open an opponent's defenses. When you make a weapon attack against a creature on your turn, instead of attacking normally, you can make an attack roll contested by the target's strength or dex save, their choice. If you win, until the end of your turn, the target's AC is lowered by an amount equal to your... Oh no. Proficiency bonus.
Oh no.
You must be able to see the target to use this feature. You can attempt to use this feature multiple times in the same turn, but can only lower a target's AC once per turn. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus and regain expended uses when you finish a long rest. Oh, so instead of... So you're sacrificing
dangerous ability.
Yeah, you're sacrificing one of your damage rolls to make all the rest of the rolls easier.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, the way I just thought about this is think about it if you had two of these characters and like rogue. Oh, look, there's 2 level 10 fighters. Oh, your AC just got reduced by 10. The rogue only needs to roll a 2 to hit you. You're fucked.
Well, imagine not being the fighter, but being the mage. You already have next to nothing in terms of defense. Now, you truly have nothing.
Dude, you can hit a Tarrasque like this.
This does actually, you say that, but this does actually open up the capability to hit higher AC targets.
Yeah, like if you allowed, I think this is one of the ones where I'd be like, I think I wouldn't let this stack. Kind of like hitting people with the same spell. It's not supposed to stack. Yep. But if you did, you're right. You could be like, we're going to send in 35. We're going to send in 35 striker fighters
Jesus
to
Christ.
swing at the shins of this Tarrasque. One of them should be able to lower it. Maybe if we're lucky, like 2 or 3, and then everyone else can unload.
Yeah, I mean, this way at least the fighter can play a little strategically and work with his team better. That's how I'm viewing this. So it's kind of like hey guys, I'm not just the guy who hits things. I'm the guy who can help you hit things.
I'm here to help.
Oh look, I have a savage barbarian on my team. Oh look, his AC is gone. Have fun.
It's like, I'm gonna enjoy slapping the absolute taste out of your mouth. Be right back while I make it easier to slap. You want to know how can she slap? The striker. Oh, the striker's fault.
How does one slap harder? Hold on, I got you.
With a heroic grip.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about it.
Go ahead.
At 10th level, when wielding a weapon with a versatile property, you can use the two-handed damage die of the weapon, even if you're wielding it in one hand.
Damn.
Interesting.
Damn. Well, I think it only makes sense when you upgrade it to a Titanic grip.
Oh,
Then
yeah,
at
but look at
18th
that.
level, you can ignore the two-handed weapon property for melee weapons and can use two-handed weapon fighting while wielding one or more two-handed weapons. So you can grab two great hammers like Dark Souls and just walk around, just BDE all day.
Oh my god. And you can draw or stow two-handed melee weapons at once?
You will have disadvantage, but like,
Who gives
does
a
that
fuck?
matter?
Wait, no. But wait, get this. While wielding a two-handed weapon in one hand, that might have that disadvantage. Can I tell you something wholeheartedly? Disadvantage is going to get canceled out by the fact that your weapon probably has magical advantage.
Yeah. At 18th level? Yeah.
Yeah. Like, if you haven't found a way to counter disadvantage on melee swings, it just lies.
Oh no, you have a cleric who has, guiding bolt. Ooh no.
Oh, man. Be a shame if someone cast
no.
guidance on me. Oh, man. Imagine that. It would be
Damn
crazy
shame.
if D&D... If, you know, be the wildest shame if D&D was a team game. Man, imagine having teammates to stack
Man,
this
can't spell team without me.
shit. You know what? There are people who I think stand by that statement.
It's true.
Oh man. I would say that this is actually a funny. I wouldn't call it game breaking. I know that so many people always want to call anytime you see two-handed weapons with one hand game breaking. I don't think of it as game breaking. I think it's silly, and I think it's interesting because if you get to 18th level and that's the payoff, you made it to 18th level. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, this
Like, I
isn't
feel like
something that's
on a
like,
certain
oh,
point.
you wield your two-handed weapon in one hand and it does like 4 times its normal damage. No, if anything, you're taking it's worse for you to do this, but you can.
Yeah. Like, I
It's
have
more
no
like
idea
when
why
you
you want.
find two like legendary great swords that the barbarian refuses to use because they have to think. And you're like, well, if someone's got to use them, because I think literally heroic grip sounds too good to pass up.
Yeah.
Just get 2 long swords, you're good.
100%.
Become
Just
Kirito.
take a damage die up. Sure.
Basically.
I
Hey,
like
enjoy
this
this additional damage die. Oh, thank you.
And like you both have said, the striker is good for like cementing that this is a team game.
Yes.
We're in this together.
Truthfully, if you're going to use Titanic grip, you need someone giving you advantage.
Yeah.
If you're not doing it yourself.
Oh, 1,000,000,000%. 1 absolute billion %.
Because even though you're going to have like a plus 15 to hit, there's the off chance you'll roll a nat 1 because the dice gods hate you.
Yeah.
No, it's gonna happen because the dice gods absolutely hate you.
No, they hate you. There's a difference.
No, they loathe me. Okay, they look at me with the disdain. They look at me with a disdain that I did not think was humanly possible for another human being.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I'm totally okay with also putting this one in the repository,
Yeah, one last.
It's
These are interesting.
I like these.
These are fun. I enjoy these. These are very fun. I think these are very silly. I can get behind this.
Oh,
I can get jiggy with this. I can get jiggy with this shit.
I was supposed to put in what the name of this was. Dual. Oh well, I mean, sure.
Dual wielding, the savage and the striker.
Two blade.
I will also put in that I'm gonna rule that the the lower defenses ability can't stack.
Oh yeah. No, that should be, I think, again.
Though if I have a party and they're all strikers, I might be like, all right, you guys did this specifically for it. Maybe I'll let just you guys do it. But if everyone wasn't, definitely not. If there were two, I'd be like, why did you both pick fighter?
Because fuck you, that's why.
Right? Like, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Like,
listen, I haven't done this in a little while, but I think I told you guys. I have a child that I DM for my job. And she chose a divination wizard, and I have never felt the disdain of dice before.
As you
I'm
should.
like, damn.
What you're getting is justice. And it's okay.
And I also had to introduce a new rule simply because of her with my current D&D party. Which if I ever DM for you guys get the same rule.
Oh?
The rule is, if you have, like, say, divination dice, or I have a patented system where if you do me a solid IRL, you get what's called a nuh-uh. Where if I'm basically about a, TPK, you just go, nuh-uh. I'm like, okay, I'm so sorry, I missed.
Oh?
My rule is you have to nuh-uh me before I finish my monologue about what happened, or I let it happen anyway. Because she hit me, I hit her with a full 5-minute monologue, rolling dice, feeling happy about myself, and she goes, hey, by the way, this nat 1 was yours. I'm like, oh, was it? And she goes, I'm a divination wizard. Yes, it was. She's like 7.
That is a
and I'm like,
sassy girl.
She's like, this is yours. I'm like, but my 16, this is yours.
And here's your card.
Oof.
Like,
now,
I missed.
Wait a minute.
I missed. His claw gets stuck in the mud. What do you do? Lightning bolt. I'm so sorry.
Listen, we've all gone down to a lightning bolt.
Well, yeah, because she also wanted to be the poison-based wizard. I'm like, oh god, Shin's gonna love her.
Listen, I like to believe that any child that chooses to walk the arts of poison.
Well, at first she's
someone like that. I don't know who was laughing in the background, but someone like that.
I believe my wife is on TikTok. No, but literally I'm laughing because she was like, the very first combat encounter she got into, she's like, can I cast grease? I'm like, yeah. Can I light it on fire? I'm like, oh, child, you belong here.
Now you're thinking of portals, kid.
She scares me, but she's a good egg.
Good eggs are good.
That reminds me, before you pull up the other subclasses, Okami, if time allows, I would like to get you gentlemen's opinion on the subclasses, or technically the classes / subclasses I've been crafting myself for my own little system. I've been theorizing. An exclusive sneak peek, so to speak.
Okay.
You like sneak peeks?
I have music for sneak peeks. That's the question.
That just sounds.
Do you have
illegal.
I mean, I have
breaky music?
I have skulking music.
No.
Aerial attack! That'll work. Oh, did you want to share it now or after?
Oh, I said after. We have a schedule to keep.
Okay. But I'm ready for you.
I don't want to hold up my tongue.
No. So the next one.
I'm already in your bathroom.
How dare you?
Run through your window, snatching your people up.
The next two subclasses we'll be looking at are both for sorcerers. These are two arcane manipulation subclasses by DoctorWhoops. No.
Please tell me.
Awaz. You're gonna like these subclasses. I know you are.
No,
I mean, maybe not these ones, but the barbarian ones. The barbarian and the striker one are pretty freaking good. I'm going to share the link that's in the description on YouTube right now is for the homebrewery link, because the original Reddit link for these, I have it open because there's some stuff in there that is supposed to be fixed, but a lot of people were arguing with DoctorWhoops about. But the homebrewery link is the one that they have upgraded, rather updated. So if you drop the description on YouTube, you can follow along. If you are on Twitch, I'm going to pop this link in there, and then I'm going to share it for the next 30 minutes. But these are beautiful art. I know, I really like it. Even though this girl looks like she's totally done with everything. However, she is basically crafting
I did notice that.
An orb of annihilation. So yeah, she's done.
Is that an orb of annihilation, or is that actually what chromatic orb looks like?
Oh, could be, maybe.
Chromatic orb.
Chromatic orb would make a lot of sense. I'm just thinking it's got to be a black hole or an orb of annihilation because it's sucking the color out of her fingertips.
I mean, technically, if you're going to do black hole, that would just be graviturgy.
But chromatic orb would make a lot of sense
chromatic orb makes, I think, the most sense probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only say that because it is one of the spells.
These are both 24 subclasses. So I brought up the new chart for 2024 in case we're like, I don't know what this does, because the three of us don't play 24. So if they mention something, I was like, oh, look it up.
Every time someone mentions 24, Shin dies a little inside.
It's true. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. But the first one is Spell Blender Sorcery, where you can mix and match elements, meta magic, and magical features to warp the nature of your spells. I think there's supposed to be a picture here. Like, pretty good guess.
I think so too.
There's supposed to be a picture here.
Maybe they just feels like accidentally snapped themselves out of existence.
Like they thought that it laid properly, but they just forgot to check before hitting publish and just never went back. So this is what this means. They just never went back.
Well, you know what? Maybe they used their expertise in meta magic to just blend themselves out of existence.
Oh, maybe. Maybe, you never know. I will say, I think that all the 2024 subclasses do have the spells that you get at certain levels, because some of the 2014 classes don't have that. And like when one of my players like, I want to use this subclass and it doesn't have free spells, I'm like, well, we have to fix that, obviously. I'm not going to let everybody else get free spells but you.
Yeah. Well, looking at the spells you get, painting, I think Dragon's Breath at level 3 kind of stands out.
True.
That's an interesting one. Mostly because it's considered a waste of a spell slot, in my opinion. Or I should say, I consider that a waste of a spell slot. Dragons get to do it again. And there's better uses for a chance to use a Dragon's Breath. Especially when at 3rd level you have Chromatic Orb, and Flaming Spear for free.
True.
I'm also noting that you said this is a 2024 subclasses, so I'm noting that this is absolutely tuned for combat and only combat.
Definitely looks like that from these spells. Well, I guess Fabricate maybe you could not use for combat, but everything else is definitely I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
They're probably using Fabricate. They're probably using Fabricate.
Yeah. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
Or combat adjacent.
Yeah.
Call Lightning and Magic Circle, obviously very strong, very potent spell. Elemental Weapon, I think, is cool because I 7th level, they're giving really honestly, I think that's where they're breaking up. They're like, hey, we'll let you do some combat adjacent again, I'll call it. Because Elemental Weapon is nice for like your striker fighter and savage barbarian. When they just decide they need to go stomping down the field. But at level 3, who wants to take Manipulate Elements?
I believe I can do that.
Yeah.
You gain access to the transmuted spell meta magic option, or you can choose a different meta magic option if you already have access to transmuted spell. When using the transmuted spell meta magic, you can also choose to change the damage type of a spell to necrotic, radiant, force, or psychic damage.
Wow.
In addition, you can use the transmuted spell meta magic for free a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus.
What?
So basically,
What does that? What
all
is that meta magic?
transmuted spell meta magic is you change the damage type.
Oh.
So they're just giving you every damage type. But like, okay, hear me out. If you have access to necrotic, radiant, force, or psychic, you're gonna choose one of them every time because they're just less resisted than everything else.
I'm always picking psychic. What's resisting me besides the Mind Flayer?
Yeah,
when the Mind Flayer shows up, I'm picking Radiant.
Wait, imagine doing a necrotic dragon's breath?
Imagine doing a psychic call lightning.
Ooh.
Oh.
Lightning bolts that you summon from the sky, because it's not lightning strike, it's called lightning, which is specifically different because it allows you to literally choose when the lightning bolt comes down.
I did not.
That's the catch-22. That's the catch-22 of call lightning. So you're literally just like, and zap him for psychic and zap him for force. Radiant. You could strike everybody.
I think that's Speedy's
You sound like
wife.
you're. Yeah, that is my wife laughing in the background.
She's having a great time.
TikTok is entertaining her right now. That does sound like you're blending a little bit there, Shin, if you wouldn't mind reading level 6.
Well, when you get a little spell blend on, you create one blended spell that is special to you. You choose a choose a non-cantrip spell from the Sorcerer spell list, and pick up the 2 meta magic options you know. These meta magic options will always be applied to the blended version of the spell. You can cast this blended spell once per short rest without spending any sorcery points for it, and can expend the use of your innate sorcery to replenish this feature. And whenever you gain a level in this class, you can change your blended spell and or the meta magic options applied. So basically, if you've ever played Oblivion and completed the Mage's College,
yes,
you get the ability to make spells and can make super cheap, overpowered spells to max level all of your things. This is how you max level your spell casting in your Oblivion TTRPG. Spellblend. At level 6.
Sorry, yeah, I just went to look up what innate sorcery is. It's in 2024 rules. All sorcerers can for 1 minute transform so that their spell save DC increases by 1, and they have advantage on attack rolls if any sorcerer spells they cast. What? Why do they have rage at level 1? Sorcerer rage.
No, they can use this twice at level 1.
What?
That's dumb.
What?
That don't make no sense to me.
So wait, Wait, hold on. At level 6, what level spells do you have access to?
Level 6, you can go up to 3rd level spells.
Yeah, I think that's when you access your 3rd level.
That's...
you get it at 5, you get 3rd level spells. That one stays the same.
Also, you get your 2nd slot.
You get 3 3rd level spells.
So,
at level 6.
So everybody's blending Fireball is what you're telling me.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, Fireball, and what would you combine it with? Well, you get Fireball, and then you combine it with whatever damage. You just do a Fireball of psychic damage.
Yep.
Psychic and necrotic with extended range, because meta magic features allow you to extend range.
True.
Area.
Yeah, because I mean, you could literally just you can empower it. You can distance it, extend it.
You can subtle spell your Fireball, so nobody knows it's coming. Your psychic Fireball.
No, you can twin spell it. You can cast 2 of them.
Oh.
I think it has to. I think Twin Spell has to have a single target, though.
No, because it just says when you cast a spell, such as Charm Person, that can be cast with a higher level spell slot to target an additional creature. Oh, well, yeah. You can spend 1 sorcery point to increase the spell's effective level by 1. Huh?
Oh, wait, what?
Wait, what? That's Twin Spell now?
That's stupid. Huh? That's the worst. That's so much worse.
So they just decided, hey, we could have kept it going great, but we just decided we want.
Oh wait, because normally with like Charm Person, when you use a higher level spell slot, you can target additional creatures. That's what it is.
Oh.
So like, hey, look, I target you. Oh wait, I can target you too.
That is the worst way they could have described that.
Yeah, that hurt my brain to think about a little bit.
As it should.
So, out of curiosity, if I filter the spells to level 3, just what do we have here?
I can say this much. It looks as though, so far, this class is once again built to just obliterate anything and everything in its path.
Well, that sounds like a sorcerer.
No, but like they want you to play the I'm dumb, watch me swing.
Big spell, go boom!
I'm trying to think of something that would be absolutely devastating to cast on someone else.
I just feel like there's not... Like, I know that there are way more meta magic options that they're going to introduce later on, but I just feel like there's not a lot compared to everything else in 2024 right now for meta magic stuff.
You know what'd be really funny to cast with this, by the way?
Haste?
Yes, haste.
Haste is fun to cast with anything.
Or revivify?
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
Okay.
Can you cast a leveled revivify? Like, are there?
Is there like levels to revivify? Give me a second.
There's always levels to this shit. There's always levels to this shit.
No, ignore that.
No, they don't have it. Boo.
That's disappointing.
That would be kind of cool.
That would be kind of cool. Like, oh no, everybody's
dead.
Wait a second.
Vampiric Touch would be kind of spicy.
Ooh. Vampiric Touch with where is it? Distant spell. So you grab someone from 30 feet away, and they're like, "Yo, it really feels like something is so," and it sucks the life out.
That is the good suck, as they say.
You know what else is? Well, you know what else is what they say, sometimes comparable to a good suck? Chipping in and helping out here with the channel by doing the thing that the disembodied voice of DM Lacara will tell you to do.
Boop.
Hit the button.
Please press the buttons, do the things.
If you have
give
money,
Okami
make
money.
The buttons, give him
We enjoy
money.
giving
If you
him
don't
money.
have
We make him
money,
happy.
just
He
hit
does
the
little
buttons
dances.
that subscribe.
It's
and
true.
That also gets him money, so you get to feel good either way.
Actually,
if you guys
thank
give
you.
him enough money, he might twerk on stream.
Hold on.
You don't have to give me money for that.
Yeah, that's free.
Now listen, if you got it, you got to work it.
I will say I did get paid by Twitch today, so that's a huge thank you to everybody in the chat, but mostly Awaz and Dex. Like, thank you guys. Thank you. You didn't have to do all that, but thank you.
You guys do the Lord's work by showing up week after week, and Okami, you deserve it. Damn it.
Thanks, guys.
You deserve it.
You guys are
That's
awesome
simply
too.
Because just like the Spellblender, Okami is an expert craft.
You can create two additional. No, it worked. It worked. I would have just added at the end, like expert craft.
No, I had to read rules as written.
Well, you know what else's rules is written?
How to raw you.
The Red Bubble Shop. You should
True.
also check out if you have the free time. Because while I am still chilling, I want to say one final thing, folks. Hopefully, you can help us all convince Okami to continue to produce great content by checking out his Patreon too. Join the free tier. I can't stress this enough. Join that free.
It's
Patreon
free.
tier.
There'll be a post on it
free.
tomorrow too.
It's free. In fact, Okami, maybe if we get at least 5 people to join to join the free Patreon by next week, I'll give you the updated map of Arcane that I created for the sealed cities. If you want to show, I sent it to you. If you want to show it on the screen, you can feel free to. I know I sent it to you. So
you sure did.
You can get a hand on. You can get a hand on these. I finally sat down with Incarnate, which I hate and love. I made a map. I made maps.
Beautiful. Yo, Awaz, do not feel bad. I told Nightbot on YouTube, show me the commands before this, like when the stream first started. He still hasn't answered me.
First off, this map is gorgeous.
It's so big. I didn't realize how big it was.
Hate me in a second, Shin.
So, you guys probably remember the black and white map you guys explored?
Yes.
I remade it.
I know, and you're gonna hate me in 3 seconds.
I'm scared.
That
says Rouge's dock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll fix it. Typo. Listen, there's 1 or 2 typos on here I gotta fix up.
No, that's truly a beautiful map.
This is so cool, man.
Pain in the ass.
I completely believe it.
Is it supposed to look like lungs? And I never noticed that before.
Holy shit! What?
Maybe.
Damn, you're right. What the fuck?
Tune in. Well, maybe come August when the campaign starts for Cardinal officially, which you still have time to join up. 1 week left, folks.
Hit us up.
Hey, how do I join up? How do I join?
You already joined.
Oh, never mind.
What?
I'm so traumatized I forgot I was there.
You still have a week to join. But you can always hit me up before we start. I just want to start managing and gathering everybody accordingly in a safe space. Making sure everybody goes over the rules and start introducing stuff for a session 0 and getting things gathered so that it can be a fun time. I'm going to see how well I do to record it so that Okami can post it.
Oh, yeah.
I'll work with Okami but I'll work with Okami on that and make sure everybody, of course, playing is cool with it. Because, obviously I want to make sure everybody's cool with the digital world.
Yeah. And, probably all of us are going to run something at some point. So, okay.
It's true.
This is a chat we've been having as part of the roundtable, but should we have more free time and there's more available people, I'm going to make a separate Discord that's just for looking for game, because there's a new feature on Discord where you can set your server as a community and you can actually legitimately run looking for game posts that just say when you're interested, when you're available. And I feel like if we make channels for that in Okami Kakure proper, they're either going to get completely ignored or washed out by everyone else doing stuff. So when we move on a little further forward, there'll be an Okami Kakure looking for game, and hopefully all of us will be running games in it.
I will happily be running games in it, and you all be willing to come suffer.
Listen, we're working on stuff,
hopefully,
okay?
Well, hopefully clubs will definitely run some games.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, because those are the games you really want to be running. So you can run through your nightmares. And I'm just playing. It's actually a lot of fun.
But you're right, though. We may not be expert crafts yet, but your expert craft for the spell blender is that you can create 2 additional blended spells. Whenever you choose to cast a blended spell, you can pick any of the 3 blended spells you prepared. I feel like that sentence isn't necessary, but okay. Additionally, you can choose 3 metamagic options to apply to your blended spell instead of 2.
Hey, you thought your spell was broken? Make it more.
Yeah, no, what if you,
technically it's 4. Right? Because you can use transmute for free. So isn't it 4, technically?
Technically, yes.
I just feel like this is the equivalent of, do you want to take this or double it and give it to the next person?
So I just realized would be very dangerous with this subclass. Combine it with cleric.
Oh.
Because then you could essentially, look, I have a cleric. Imagine casting Spirit Guardians and then changing the spell.
I don't know if cleric magic would work because it's noting.
Oh, it's noting the fact that it has to be on a sorcerer spell. But
you are correct.
Hear me out. You can. Oh no. Yeah.
Oh.
Technically, I think you can use the feat, whatever class initiate, to get 1 or 2 of their spells, and then they count as your class's spells. But I think that's the only way you can do it.
I think that is the only way you can do it.
That is the only way, yeah.
I don't play Sorcerer, but because 2 people in my game are Sorcerer, and they are both multi-classed, but one started as a Sorcerer, I have some sorceress know-how. I will say, though, on the repository, there are a ton of extra metamagic options should anybody want to use them.
This makes me miss my favorite character I've ever played, who was a sorcerer.
Was it a wild magic sorcerer?
No, he was actually a psionic soul sorcerer.
Ooh.
I know I told you guys back in the days of when we worked together. Give me a second, I may cut out because I'm walking away.
Come back.
Don't look at the explosion.
You mean the sun?
Oh, that too.
Anyway,
that's what you wanted to find it as. No.
All right, I'm good. So I think I told you guys this, but I don't know if I said this on stream. I once had a Psychic Mafioso.
Oh yeah.
So the whole point was I basically Baldur's Gated before I realized I was ripping off Baldur's Gate with the mind worms.
But you've also played this pre-Baldur's Gate.
I did play this pre-Baldur's Gate, which is honestly ironic because there is lore brain worm of if you do like 30 plus healing, it kills it instantly. So you know what? These worms were built different. Regardless, I had him in a white tux jacket and a black suit pants so that I could always say, "Oh, look, my hands are clean." But I played him like a rogue, and I would just use the innate sorcery points to just not have to say anything if I'm trying to get away with doing different spells. So it got to the point where I started multi-classing into rogue to get to the soul knife so that I could literally just, oh, I'm out of spell slots. Oh, look, I'm not out of knives. I sadly did not get to follow through with that because I had a falling out with the group. So I will never.
That campaign.
I never got to see the full potential of him. I'm very sad.
Well, maybe one day you'll get the chance to bring him back.
You do not want me to bring that man back.
I
had a wizard, a death cleric, and a bard paladin who anytime an NPC would ask my character a question, they immediately cut them off, go, no, you don't ask him questions. I had them all in fear of me because they're like, listen, I'll do it for you, but you owe me a favor. And then they knew I had crime connections, and that's all they knew. I was able to single-handedly walk into a pirate's den and walk out with all of them killing each other instead of me and walking out with all the loot. By making one think the other poisoned them and started a bar fight.
I'm trying to think of what the combo is. In one of Joe Cat's old campaigns, they all started at level 3, and everyone was like a normal, I'm just level 3 in this class. And then one of the players, his name was like Beth Jesus, essentially. And he was like an evil businessman. But he was 1 level barb, 1 level rogue, and I can't remember what the 3rd level was.
Probably warlock.
That would make sense. And I was like, that's the weirdest combo I've ever seen. But damn if he wasn't good at business.
They usually are.
However, while I don't think that particular combo is the perfect blend, Shin, why don't you tell us what the perfect blend is?
Well, when you hit the 18th level, naturally, when you activate your innate sorcery feature, you regain your ability to cast your blended spell once for free. And while the feature is active, you can cast your blended spell as if it is part of your spell list, expending spell slots as normal, but not consuming sorcery points. First time you cast a blended spell while innate sorcery is active, any attack roll that is part of the spell gains advantage, and any saving throw that is made against the spell has disadvantage. And in addition, while the feature is active, you can cast a blended spell of 5th level or lower by spending an amount of sorcery points equal to the spell level instead of spending a spell slot. Could they give you anything else? Just...
Oh, I just realized, I just scrolled down to the picture. You're God. They just want you to be God.
Yeah, like, hey, Liu Kang, congratulations on reforming the multiverse. Because that's basically what you're doing.
Go forth and spread fuckery.
Yeah, this is basically the fuck it spell.
Yeah.
This is your DM has realized that there was no stopping you. He's looked at the board and he's just gone, fuck it.
Your DM kept trying to kill you, but the cleric just wouldn't let it happen.
So, okay. I'm just going to break this down. So you're going to have 2 uses of innate sorcery. But this says anytime it's active, meaning if it's a minute long, that's all your spell slots, essentially. Like, every single one of your spell slots is now devoted to your blended spell. So you're not using meta magic, but you're still burning spell slots. But, like, I don't know. I just feel like this could be better.
Better.
This isn't just predicated on like 2024 hate. This doesn't give me the same feel that like the dual wielding subclasses did, where we were like, oh my god, you can really do some cool stuff. There's unfortunately only like 8 meta magic options, so like yeah, you're going to use them all, and they probably aren't going to end up being as helpful as you would assume, because since there's only 8, like you can only use like 3 of them on certain spells. So I feel like the majority of people are going to end up just using this for transmute.
Truth be told, in my opinion, what the 2 things that would fix this for the level 6 for spell blend, just take out the word sorcerer so you can use any spell you know. And one thing that would be good is if you can change, like depending on give it like a sorcery point cast or cost, or even a spell slot cost if you want to change like specifically the range, like, oh, you can make a range spell a touch spell, or a touch spell a range spell. Like really blend it.
Oh, you mean go in reverse? Ooh.
Yes.
I like reverse. Yeah, there is no reverse.
So hey, oh look, I want to cast Vampiric Touch. Oh look, I combined it with Fireball. Throw it over there. It absorbs everything in an. You know.
Okay, so in my campaign, the leader of the town guard that got power bombed by the basically awakened mimic way back in the day, he has a gun that you can put powders and potions in. It's like a rifle, and when he fires it, whatever he hits takes the full brunt of that potion. So like we gave him sleep powder, and at the beginning of our campaign, our bard, like the only spell she ever used was sleep, and it became a thing. Like, oh, there's a fight going on, everyone's gonna go to sleep very soon. Or, oh, we're walking into town and it seems like something's not right, everyone's about to go to sleep. So I had our town guard guy load his rifle, and the kids were at the time there was an adipose from like Doctor Who, those things made of literal fat. I use them in my world as like experiments because you can hit them and they'll bounce back. And there were some kids that sort of stole some adiposes, and they were raising them. And the problem is, in my world, if you keep feeding an adipose, it'll keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And that becomes a problem because they're like childlike and mischievous. So if you keep feeding them, they get bigger and bigger, they're going to cause lots of problems. So my players were like, can't you put all the kids to sleep? And the leader of the town guard is like, you want me to shoot every kid in the street? No. I can't shoot all the children. Do you know how much trouble I'm going to be in if I walk down the street shooting kids? And my players were like, oh, I never thought about like the problems of taking out a gun and aiming it at children. And I was like, what? You what? But
you never thought about the problems with taking out a gun and aiming it at children? What?
Can I just... This is going to sound really bad. Can I play devil's advocate for a second? For 2 reasons. One, the same character that had the screaming lightsaber that I mentioned earlier, I also crafted a gun with a misfire score of 13, but it let me deal D100 damage.
Jesus.
I did nat 20 with that thing once. Just saying. But, listen, your players aren't thinking creatively enough. If you guys have ever played Dungeon of the Mad Mage, you know the fact that there's a town in the underground that's like a pirate haven called Skullport. My character who I initially...
My bad, sorry.
You are. I initially what's it called?
Oh, wait, oh, the song? Okay. I got scared. You said DMC8, I got scared. I was like, wait.
I almost played an episode of Doctor Who. I was like, no, I just want a picture of an adipose.
No, but I went to this pirate haven, and the same character that had this lightsaber and the gun, I initially ripped off of Dante from Devil May Cry, but basically, he just became his own person. His catchphrase was dropping panties and snorting grannies. I will not elaborate. Anyway.
You don't have to.
So... I took over this town as the mayor after we rid it of all pirates. And then I realized, hey, I need to collect taxes from my peoples because, I can do that now. So I freed an orphanage from pirates and I used them as labor to collect taxes.
Orphans.
Listen, and then I rebuilt their house using the money so that they had like an actual full orphanage, and I gave them jobs.
That's good. You helped. That's good. You gotta give people. My players love giving people jobs. But the reason I brought up the potion gun is if you've ever played D&D, the way that sleep works is it puts people to sleep based on a health pool that you roll, and the people with the lowest current health, go to sleep first. But that means if you're hitting like a whole room, if everybody's at full health, nobody's going to sleep. So the way this gun works is, since you pour the powder, it makes a bullet out of that powder. So whoever you can hit will take the full brunt of whatever you would have rolled for the sleep. But this also means if you miss, it does nothing. So my players were like, but he actually did try to put an adipose to sleep, but he missed. And they were like, but what happened to all the sleep? And I was like, it's in the bullet. The bullet didn't hit its target. He put the wall to sleep. That's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
They're sitting up there sweating. They're like, what?
Also, I don't know if you guys saw, but Awaz did challenge us to make a better sorcerer.
It's true.
I mean, Awaz, you know something? We will do it.
Okay. Before I ever make a better sorcerer, I gotta make friggity frackety. I'm gonna make words one day. I'm making better warlocks. I gotta make better warlocks. Then I'm gonna make better sorcerers.
So what you're saying is you're good at making warlocks who take magic, kind of like a spell thief?
Maybe. I see what you did there. I like it. Oh, that's good. I think you're taking spell thief, my friend.
I did, because I read this a little bit, and basically this is if you are a degenerate who plays only blue decks in Magic the Gathering.
Yes. So. We played Magic over the weekend. We taught the Laundry King how to play Magic, and I was playing a blue-white deck. Jin was playing a straight blue deck, and
I hate him.
Dex was playing all 5 colors deck, and we gave the Laundry King. I gave him my red goblin deck, mono red, to start, because I was like, "What do you?" He decided. I was like, "Do you like hitting things with big sticks?" That's what red does.
The mono red goblins. Honestly, if it's your first time playing, that's a very great first deck. Like, that's a good starter deck right there. Just learn how to beat shit across the face.
A friend who hasn't played Magic in a while got to deal with my Gearson Star, and I.
So like 4 or 5 turns in, Isaac's made us either discard or mill or exile, like non-stop. And I turn to the Laundry King and I go, okay, so there's a connotation. If you play a mono blue deck like that, nobody likes you. You're the worst person at the table by default.
But it's instant.
They see mono blue, they already have their shiv.
Yeah, no, mono blue. Like, I play.
Free action poop. How dare you? Pooping is a free action.
Free action boop.
It depends on the poop.
refuse.
That may be. That may
true.
be a full action, maybe even spell slot worthy.
No. Free action. Drop deuce.
It's a free action to drop your pants. It's a full action and every remaining spell slot to get it out of your body.
All right.
It's only an action if you have to use a belt.
You have to roll a Constitution roll every time to try to get your shit.
Yes, I'm 100% with you. Cause like, okay, I had this conversation specifically with Evil Crossover's son, Evil Eyeball, where we were talking about warlocks and we're trying to explain them to Evil Crossover, and how like you make a deal when you become a warlock, and the vast majority of the people you're taking these deals from want something from you that like you probably will want to keep, but they want it more. So they're generally bad folks. And Evil Eyeball was like, could you take a good deal? And I was like, you sure can. But there's very few, like especially official lore-wise, there's so few creatures that are like good-natured that will make a warlock deal with you.
Even the Celestial is not necessarily a great deal. It's
Yeah.
just a Celestial.
It's the lesser of two evils.
Yeah.
It depends on which Celestial you get.
That's also true.
True.
Because you have to think about it. The Celestial is assuming you're getting the best. Hag magic. So it's interesting you say that, Awaz. In Pathfinder, they make a very big distinction of darker magics. Listen, not every Celestial is kind. Kieran's may or may not be safe. I'm just saying. Not as playing Awaz. Kieran's are definitely safe. I feel like Kieran's, they're good people.
I just saw a webcomic came up where this adventuring party's out in the woods and this unicorn runs up to them. And the adventuring party looks at each other and then they go, wait. Unicorns only appear to people that are pure of heart. And they look at this one person who's like he's all dressed up in a cloak and got a big like scary looking staff. And they're like, what? You think this is a necromancer? I don't think they're pure of heart. Why would the unicorn appear here? And the necromancer goes, well, I'm pure evil, duh. And the unicorn goes, wow, way to judge people. And I was like, I guess.
Still pure. Didn't say which way.
Okay, witches in the repository. There are there's two different kinds of witch, but they're as a whole class, not a subclass. They're pretty cool.
I think witches are cool. I think that there should be more around the idea of true curses.
Yes.
I think it's a missing aspect, but we'll get into that after we let Speedy tell us a little bit more about the spell thief.
Yeah.
Aye. Steal and return spells cast by your opponents. Spell thieves disrupt and steal the essence and potential of others. In addition to canceling opposing spells, they can absorb and deflect them, or even disrupt non-casters using magical counters.
This one's like not. If the other one was built like all straight for combat, this one might not be built straight for combat. Cool.
Well,
I think it's built for weird parts of counter, like support style combat. I think.
I wouldn't even say that. The way I am catching this one is magical Sekiro.
I could be. I'm just looking at the spell thief sorcery spells. I feel like from the spell list, you can actually role play.
Yeah, so
which 2024 doesn't really like. Okay, your spell thief sorcery spells. You get disguise self, shield, counter spell, but that one's special because it's also part of your abilities. And detect thoughts, and then dispel magic, non-detection, greater invisibility, freedom of movement, scrying, and finally telekinesis.
Telekinesis is a fun one.
Would you like to tell us about
start
Copycat? You're both cat people. Either of you can take it. That's gross.
All right, first and foremost, don't you dare.
I'll take it how I please, thank you.
I got this one. Copycat. After you successfully use counterspell to negate the effect of a spell, that spell is added to your prepared spell list until your next long rest, even if not on the sorcerer spell list. In addition, any spell that you acquired this way that wasn't already on your prepared spell list gains a +1 bonus on any attack roll and has its DC increased by 1.
Imagine that's using this on the BBEG who has some legendary spell no one has access to. You just go, haha, mine.
That is the most Fate Stay Night bullshit I've
Yeah.
ever seen in my life.
This is basically you are Archer
Yep.
and hit somebody
Yes.
with a roll
Who
ice.
says a copy has to be worse than the original? It's exactly the same. It just depends on how good I am at using it.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
So now that you're Archer. Now that you're the will of the world, aka darker version of MES Shiro.
You are the bone of your sword.
Now that you've truly embraced the MES Shiro in your life. Every time I say his name, I just think of the way Kotamine says it. And he's like, MES Shiro. And I'm
You're like, oh yes, tell me again.
oh, my goodness.
You could say that gives me a little bit of a disruption of the Arcane.
Ooh,
really
tell me a
trying,
little bit
guys.
more about that.
Try, guys.
Yeah, listen. You did a good job. Tell us a little more.
When using Counterspell at level 6, you can spend 2 sorcery points to target a non-spell action, bonus action, or reaction instead. If disrupted, any resources it would have consumed are not expended.
Imagine just.
So let me get this straight. Wait. You can target a non-spell action bonus. Your counterspell the Sentinel that's about to hit you when you move.
I'm
Just go,
thinking,
"Nah."
like what you said, the BBEG. You counter his legendary action, and
Oh
like
shit!
the way that the way that you can roleplay this is that you're basically like you're almost bloodbending, but you're counterspelling their central nervous system. You're just like, yeah, and their inside is like synaptic static.
No, dude, imagine you're like fighting like a vampire lord and their legendary action is they regen and you just go, nah.
Ooh, or fighting a necromancer and his legendary action is to summon zombies. You're like, those are mine. You counterspell and raise dead. Counterspell to raise dead.
Dude, imagine you're literally at the final fight. Your DM has set up this beautiful scene. Everything's coming into play. They're like, this sorcerer asks a simple question. DM, would you consider everything you just did an action?
Warlock.
Yeah, why?
Yeah.
And they just snap their fingers. Hey, by the way, everything you just said, no.
Bro.
There is no army. There is no final battle. There's no battle. There's no spells. There's no portals. Your spell doesn't work. We kill you. We go home. Goodbye.
I'm just
only
imagining...
counting like the fact that everything counts to okay, how many sorcery points does 2024 get at the end? How many sorcery points you got?
I have a feeling it's at least 20 to 40.
It's 20.
Easily.
So 10 in your final battle, 10 abilities of the final boss. You can just say no to. Wait, do they also have a thing that restores sorcery points? I bet they do. I bet they fucking do.
Guess what?
Wait.
If you really get sick and tired of it, you could just return to sender.
True.
Because after you successfully use counterspell to negate the effect of a spell, you can spend 4 sorcery points to cast the negated spell back at the caster using your own spell attack or DC when needed. Not required, when needed. And if you don't return the spell, you absorb the energy, and during your next turn, the first damage you roll as a part of a spell is increased by 1d8 plus the level of the spell.
So, you're telling me if I suck up somebody's big-ass spell, even if I have no spell slots left on my next turn, I can do a firebolt with an extra, like, 6d8 damage on it?
Oh, yeah, you just cast Magic Missile at, like, 8th level, and then just say, haha, have fun.
Yes.
Okay. This is the exact opposite of the last.
Well,
that's what I'm saying. This is the JoJo posing, I'm better than you, sorcerer.
Well, you know what? You know what's more? Nothing's more JoJo than part than a certain part in which a detonation decided to do. Okami, could you read this for us?
Oh, Jesus. Level 18, negate all. Once per round, while innate sorcery feature is active. So this is 10 rounds of this. Well, 20 technically. You can spend 3 sorcery points to cast Counterspell without expending a spell slot or using your reaction. This casting automatically negates spells cast at 3rd level or lower without requiring a failed saving throw.
So basically, someone goes to cast Cure Wounds, and you just, because you exist, it's just like, nope. Just slapping wands and spell books out of people's hands as they try to cast. Holy symbols go flying.
This is the most fuck you I've ever read in my life. Just a
I'm
full
just
fuck
thinking
you.
I'm thinking of literally just everything you can do with a level 6 ability, and it scares me.
Yeah, because each of these are counting for all your other abilities because it's when you counterspell.
No, because here's the thing. When it's using Counterspell, it says you can target any non-spell action, bonus action, or reaction. It's not stating it has to be in combat. You could use it on your allies and make it benefit them in some way, or yourself.
True.
Or if there's like a specific plot point happening right now, you just go, nope.
Oh
you literally
my
can
God.
you can derail a campaign with one word. Nope.
Imagine you're sitting. This is the power that someone would have needed in the very first campaign Okami and I were in when I decided I wanted to seduce the Princess of Hell. This would have been the ability that where I went to go play my bardic tune and someone just went, "You can't play that." I'd be like, "Huh? The strings broke." Instantly negated.
Oh, okay. So there's no action ability like a monk to get your key points back. Sorry, yeah, key points. We're not saying focus. This is a no focus point zone. Okay, they're key points.
We don't say that word. Don't say that word around it.
The 2024 way for sorcerers to get their stuff back is on a short rest.
So I like spell thief.
Wait. Okay, the level 7 ability for the 2024 sorcerer is that if you have, oh my God, if you have no uses of innate sorcery left, so if your 20 rounds of innate sorcery wasn't enough, you can spend 2 sorcery points to just activate it again.
Huh?
Oh, I didn't know this part either because, again, 2024 rules. When innate sorcery is active and you're level 7 or higher, you can use 2 metamagic options on each spell you cast.
So that means at higher levels, basically in conjunction with. Oh my God! You can do 5. Oh wait, I'm thinking of the other one.
Fuck it.
Yeah, the other one. I'm thinking of that too. I'm like, oh my. The other
5 metamagics on
that's
one
all
spell?
of them. There's only like 8 of them right now. Okay, you just put all of them on it. Just say you can use all of them.
Jesus.
Fuck it. Just stack them all, man. Stack them all. We stacking meta magic right now, man.
That is okay. Spell thief is scary.
The level 20 ability for sorcerers is that when innate sorcery is active, you can use 1 metamagic option for free every turn. So
that's
yeah,
crazy, dog.
For Spellblender, you could in fact use every kind of metamagic. That's like all of them. There's nothing else.
That's crazy.
Getting Spell Thief to, like, having a Spell Thief in your party and having them actually get their stuff off, I'm sure is going to feel fucking amazing for the party, but as a DM, I'm sure it's going to get frustrating.
Instantly. It's like, because
This
you're
is
going to
basically
anticipate them countering everything you do.
Yeah, because this is basically just a divination wizard on steroids.
If you combine these two, the game is no fun.
The DM just goes, all right, fuck it, you're the DM now.
Well, I would.
What can I do?
Quite honestly, I'd slap the character sheet out your hand.
Like,
the first time ever, I'd be like,
wait, hold on.
Here.
Listen, I'm going to say some bullshit. What if you had a spell thief that multi-classed into divination wizard is just the two worlds at once?
I'd slap the spell sheet. I'm telling you, I would slap the spell sheet, the character sheet, out of their hand.
I would say, we're here to have fun, you ass.
I would take
we're not doing this.
No. I would lovingly take the sheet from them, handcraftingly laminate it, and then slap them across the face with it.
Love? There'd be no love. There'd be no love in my action.
So what if they just go arcane disruption it?
They don't want to play this game. This is not the game.
Yeah, spell thief? Yes. The other one? Eh.
This is like the most... Spell Thief is the most traditional culture ability set I've ever seen. Like, you're going to do something, I'm going to one-up it. You're going to one-up me. I'm going to one-up that. You're going to one-up what I just did. Like, that's what this whole class is. If you're a trad player, this is the thing for you.
Oh, hell yeah.
If you enjoy having a power trip at the snap of your fingers, this class is for you.
Also true.
Because nothing is more satisfying than telling God to go fuck himself.
Yeah, this is definitely the class you play when you're just like, you know, I always wanted to just say fuck it. Here's your power.
This is crazy.
Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy.
I'm on the fence about this one.
But here's my number. Counterspell, baby.
I feel like this is viable, yes, but like it has to be in certain games.
At what cost?
Yeah.
See, the thing is, it's viable if you get someone who gets to level 6 and they're creative, you're done as a DM.
I'm pretty sure you're done. I'm pretty sure the campaign is done the moment they can arcane disrupt everything.
Exactly. So once they get to level 6, essentially any action the DM takes is just liable to get nuh-uh. So you have to plan around them counterspelling everything in a session.
I'm bringing out my wild magic. I'm bringing out a clan of wild magic sorcerers.
Like your DM. I'm not saying that like you're. I know this is a saying everyone says, like there's no main character in a D&D campaign, but like if you choose to play this class, as far as the DM's challenges are concerned, you're the main character. Everything that DM has to do now is against you.
To some extent, yeah. That's kind of that makes the game unfun.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, this is wholly viable, but I don't think I'm going to put it in the repository simply for that fact. Like, you've become the main character. No matter what. Yeah, everything has to be balanced around you.
You're absolutely right, because it basically becomes of, hey, I'm making a story for the player, and I'm like, no, I now have to plan around this specific player so that everyone has fun.
Yeah.
Daywaz has a counter argument.
Oh?
Yes, I have, and that's the problem.
I'm in the middle. If people, that's true.
Yeah,
two of my players would. DM Bacon would for sure, and Valley of Ageria would find a way around this. Would definitely use this to the fullest extent of the law.
I think I would as well, which is why I like it so much. But I also recognize the danger of it, because like I said, I played a psionic, and I made our DM sweat bullets.
Mm-hmm.
Because I also think I told you guys the story of, to finally deal damage to that sorcerer, he had an AC of 10. I wasn't wearing armor. My deck sucked. It took him one full in real life year to hit me. So we played every week.
Okay, so Grimjack's not in here, but speaking of people not reading their sheets, Grimjack has dwarven plate armor, which is super. So like he has 23 AC. His AC is hella fucking high, but the special ability of dwarven plate armor.
Be able to be hit.
Right. So like even he said to other people like, "Oh hey, my DM because my AC is so high." And granted, I didn't just give him this armor. He only got this armor because the rest of the party had some connections and they finessed their way to this armor. It wasn't just a thing for him because he's had 23 AC for quite a while and they're pretty low level. But he was like explaining to Foxinator and other people that he works with that like when I go against him, like as the DM, if I'm fighting them, I know I'm not going to hit him most of the time. So I got to make him make saves instead. But the special ability of Dwarven Plate is that you can choose not to be moved when an effect moves you. And I have just been levitating him every combat. He has not read that he knows, like he knows that this is an ability because when someone pushes him, he'll be like, "Nah." But I'm like, he has not once stopped me from levitating him. And I'm like, that's okay.
For the record, Iron Fist, while you may have a point with Jean Grey writing problem, I have to counterpoint of they have actually managed to kill Jean Grey on multiple occasions. She keeps coming back, but they can kill her.
True, that bitch is always dead. Because of his stupid... Because we have two paladins, so they're both giving off that aura that raises your saves. So I just levitate the two of them out of the way. Whoop!
Honestly, sometimes I don't mind doing that in a campaign. Because I've absolutely had players who want to play the game of, oh, look at me shut down the purpose of this game. And I'm like, oh, you're... Like, they've made it their sole goal to make sure they enjoy making, I guess, a DM work harder.
They like a little bit of trad.
Work hard. And
everybody likes a little bit of trad.
Listen, I don't mind. But when I counter you, and I bring the energy you're looking for, don't be mad. Don't be mad, boo-boo. This is what you asked for.
Yeah, you did this.
This is what you came for.
I wanted to say this before because it is something that VF brought up in the DM Roundtable chat the other little while ago. Because of that article you read that was like, oh, don't tell your, like, keep things from your DM. My Valley of Ageria is not telling me when she's using Booming Blade anymore. She's just like, when I move a creature, she's like, did they move? Well, then they take Booming Blade damage. And I'm like, huh? You gotta tell me you're casting it. I mean, this guy would have moved anyway, but like, you can't just be like, I cast a spell but never told the DM. If you don't tell the DM, it never happened.
Sadly, it's true. Yeah, I don't know. There's no benefit to hiding stuff like that from your DM.
Nope.
Just tell us what we want to know.
Tell me what you're
doing.
Put the money
in the bag. Put the money in the damn bag.
I'm actually trying to think. I don't know if the repository has separate sections for 2014 and 2024 subclasses, but I also don't think we've gone over enough 2024 subclasses for me to have made a new section anyway.
I hope we never do. Yeah, Shin hopes that from the bottom of his heart. Things
exactly.
Things be there.
Exactly. Oh, but I do have to open up. It's poll time. But if you want to tell us about your stuff, DM Speedy, you're more than welcome to. While I boot up this poll.
I suppose I can. So, basically, for the realm that I'm crafting, I wanted to do think of it like, how to describe it? Well, I want to do like one heavy melee, one light-ish melee, or no, wait, but I wanted to do a melee, a ranged, and a magic for each like type. So say for like the martial classes, I want to do like, you could be a knight, you could be a rogue, you could be a ranger, because technically bows are magic for them, right? For the holy magic tree or trio, it's going to be, you can be a paladin, you can be a monk, or you can be what I call a redeemer, which is the ranged.
Oh.
Essentially, you are, for the lack of a better term, because I enjoy my yeehaw nonsense.
Fair.
You are essentially a Warhammer witch hunter with guns that shoot the remnant energy of the sun.
How many people yell the power of the sun in the palm of my hand?
Oh, a bunch of them.
Guy!
And then on the, siding with the giant magical cloud that gave everyone magical powers, you have the Dark Knights, which are just anti-paladins. You have your wizard. And I wanted to do something along the lines of like not really a spell blade, but more like, think Arcane Trickster almost.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
So that way there's like a flavor of, hey, I want to be fast. I want to be fast. I want to be, because I'm only breaking down the stats into like 3 different categories. And basically one's just really good at each stat.
Oh, I mean, that makes sense.
Because I wanted to do it, because the one thing that I liked is I'm doing it like your body is one stat. Like everything related to like your physical or your physicality. Then there's your mental, like actually how good you, like how smart you are essentially in all aspects. And the third stat is essentially your spiritual resolve to get shit done.
Green Lantern, baby!
Literally. So like any of the like quote unquote like roguish ones are mainly just because they have just a lot of like mental willpower to get shit done. The magic classes are all about their intelligence and their mind. And, the martial classes are about their body and their physicality. So that way it simplifies that, and then you just throw stats around however you want to specialize in. And then I'm still working on all of that. And then I did concept a secret 10th class if you're crazy enough to do it. The love child of all 3 like possible origins, where essentially you're a warrior with dark magic powers that fights for a crusade, where essentially I wanted to make you just my version of a Jedi/Sith.
I can see that.
And you do get magical soul blades.
Can't turn down a good magical soul blade.
That's essentially my shtick.
It seems simple, which is good. We like simple here. Simple makes sense.
It seems simple. Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, you don't want to over fluff sometimes. Sometimes you need just enough fluffing.
So voting, that's pretty simple, right?
No.
Next week's 5 topics are articles, homework, items, one-shot supplement, and tools. However, if tools gets no votes, it's just getting folded into show and tell at this point.
I think it's about time.
It did get 1 vote last week, and I was like, huh? But this is whenever it gets no votes, it's getting folded into show and tell, because that's realistically when we're going to show it off anyway. If you don't know how voting works, if you're in the Twitch chat while we're doing the stream, you can just vote right in the poll. It'll be up for 10 minutes. If you're on YouTube or you're watching this as a VOD within 24 hours of the original stream, you can leave a comment. You can come into the Discord and tell us what you want to vote for too. And then I will tally up all the community votes, add them to the DM votes, and we will decide what the topic is for next week. If you're unsure of the items, articles are literally like that article that DM Shin shared. That was like, hey, this is how you can be a dick to your DM.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
We'll read them together and then have a chat. Then there's homework, which is like a pretty decent sized supplement that will take us multiple streams to get through because we all love taking notes and we all love talking
But
D&D.
no more than 5.
Yeah, it will never go longer than 5 ever again. We learned our lesson.
We call it the unempowered.
Yeah, the unempowered rule. Yeah.
Unempowered rule.
Yes. Then
Rule.
items are magic or mundane items, probably wondrous items most likely. We'll go over. Then there's one-shot supplement. That is a supplement that may involve a bunch of different stuff, but we can definitely get through it in one stream. And the last option is tools, just stuff that make our DMing lives easier. But like I said, if tools gets no votes, it's getting folded into show and tell.
Watch tools get votes.
I know. I feel like that's the reason why someone voted for it last week. Like they felt bad for it, and I was like, "It's fine. We're gonna talk about it there anyway. Don't feel bad about tools, okay?"
Yeah, let tools be. All right. If tools gets folded in, it's okay. It's a natural part of the process.
What is a Moki Moki? Oh, it's from Speed Duel. That's like
I love it.
That's like past when I cared about Yu-Gi-Oh. Sorry.
I got a Moki Moki as well, and I love that thing. It's so strange looking. Oh yeah. But DM,
God damn it, Fifth.
Okami. But Okami, I have a question for you.
What's up?
After tonight, where can people find you?
Tomorrow night, I will be streaming more. I will actually be here for the full 6-hour block. I'll be streaming more Horizon Forbidden West. We are going to figure out where Aloy can free action shit all over Ted Farrow's grave. Because fuck that guy.
That shouldn't have made me laugh as hard as it did, but it did.
But I also did. I figured out schedule wise. This month I can in fact do the Sunday for the thank you stream. So it's not gonna be, well, technically I guess, well, it'll be next week, not part of this week. The 27th. I'll be unboxing everything from my what is it? All-in pledge ? For Moonlight Maps' Atlas Volume 1. So 50 double-sided maps plus a bunch of other game aids. They make decks of creatures and decks of abilities and items and dice and stuff. So I'll be going through that on Sunday the 27th if you guys want to join me. Listen, I don't know if I'm ever going to spend another 8 hours unboxing anything, but I don't think this one's going to take 8 hours.
I doubt it.
I am thinking, though, that in the future, maybe even for this one, I might invite other people to come unbox stuff with me, but we shall see.
You know what? You let me know.
Okay. I can do that. But yeah, that's where you can find me. Where can they find you, DM Shin, and you, DM Speedy, the rest of this week?
I will be deep in map making. I was able. I don't know. Did I send you the world map of Cardna?
You sent us the map of Arcane that I know of.
Yes.
I did not see it.
I got it.
So I also made a world map. So I've been having fun with Incarnate. It's a tool that I've been using. I've also made a world map. I will give you guys a sneak peek. This is the player's map. You'll notice that it is filled in with just enough information. And in that just enough information, the rest will be filled out by the players, because the sea will be filled by players' actions and roles. It is a fun mechanic that I toyed with and finally fine-tuned to give a little bit more exploration in between missions. So it's going to be a walling good time for me watching you all try not to get eaten by things that swim in the ocean, which do now include DM Lacara's addition from a tiny barbarian.
Bum bum bum.
The newest creatures living in the ocean. In the Calcos Ocean.
This is probably going to sound like a stupid question.
Absolutely.
But
yeah,
could the Super Nintendo take NES cartridges?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think that it looked like it could, but I think no, because the design, I think the mouth was different.
Yeah, the SNES was weird.
I think I don't know, but I think the Famicom and the Super Famicom were interchangeable.
Oh.
Because remember, we got the Nintendo, they got the Famicom.
My first console was a Genesis, and my first Nintendo non-handheld was. I was there. My first Nintendo home console was a GameCube. I started late.
What? You can do this? Awaz, did you just blow my mind? You can put a Nintendo cartridge in a Super Nintendo?
Apparently we can't.
And it works?
That's why I was like, can you? Okay, so me and Grim both kickstarted this thing way back when, like 5 years ago. That was supposed to be a console that had basically different mouths that you would slap into it, and you could put your different.
The Soldier game?
It wasn't the Soldier game. It was
I
think it was the Retrobit, where you put different mouths in, you could use different cartridges, and we were so excited. And then the company who was working on it, because of that chip shortage, that affected the three of us at work real bad. That chip shortage totally screwed their development.
Think about it.
And so they pivoted to running all of these services online for old games, and then they were like, we can send you, we're thinking about releasing instead little devices that let you just connect your cartridges directly to our emulator, which also would have been a super cool idea. And then they bought all these they got all these licenses for old games, and they basically had an online arcade service with a bajillion games. And the list of the games is still pinned in Okamigakure, because at one point I was like, yo, we can play all these games because technically we own all of them. And then they just shut down. They were like, yo, we can't afford to run anything. We'll never get the Retrobit console out. We're really, really sorry to everybody. And me and Grimbo thought that this was the end of it. And then they were like, by the way, even though we gave all you guys who crowdfunded us full access to the emulator service and what have you to play for free, which was a $50 a year subscription or something, when they took that away too, they were like, by the way, we're just going to give you guys back all the money that you ever gave us. And me and Grimbo were like, wait, what? And they did. They gave us back all the money for the stuff that we kickstarted. And I was like, I don't know how they could have possibly... I still to this day can't fathom how they were able to do that. When I've been screwed by Kickstarters so often before, or just watched people lose their money.
I feel like that was very much a we just don't give a fuck moment, where they were just like, we don't care. Take it. Take the shit. Take your stuff back. I'm imagining that the guy behind the desk at this company is just like, give them their stuff back. We don't want it. Your money's no good. Your money's no good here. Like, sir, are you sure this is real money?
I will say I have not been hurt as many times as Grimbo, at least. I've realistically only been hurt by 2 Kickstarters, and in the defense of the first one, oh sorry, 3 now, because we had talked about this on articles. The guy who runs Headless Hydra Press, like, I don't know what happened to his family. I think they must have been shot and killed. Like, I don't know what happened to him, but all of his Kickstarters have fallen through. And he left.
That's the grimmest. That's the grimmest outline of what could have occurred. I that got dark.
I don't know how bad things are, but it has to be real bad. So that one, and then I was part of a Kickstarter for dice way back when, and I was supposed to get dice for Oxford Comma and DM Bacon that were like super, super nice. These people, they worked with Ribinator, so like they were legit. Like, Ribinator's a dude who like just makes dice. That's all he fucking does. And they paid him to teach them how to make dice, and he showed them all his tricks, and they were working together and what have you, and it was great. And then the wife got sick, and then the husband got COVID, and people just started like spamming the Kickstarter with death threats. And I was like, over dice?
It's scary to think what people will sink to over their property.
It's true. Like, it's just dice. Listen, I love dice probably more than the average person, but like, it's just dice.
You may or may not have a problem. I might have that same problem.
It's true. If I could Scrooge McDuck swim through dice, I would.
I'd die.
Oh, it would hurt. It would hurt a lot, but I would do it.
Yeah, especially if there are tiny dice involved in there, and then when like you swallow one, that's it. That's a wrap. Just throw me off the side of the ship with my ancestors, like they did Killmonger. That's my favorite thing to say to people now. They're like, "How about you, man? If you would die, what would you do? Just throw me off the side, throw me off the ship with my ancestors." Oh, Killmonger everywhere I go. I'm sorry. I'm a spell thief.
But yeah, I think now I know also this format works for subclasses. We can just do 4 nothing. I feel like I'm being mean by saying nothing special or bare bones, but like sometimes bare bones is all you need.
I don't think you should look at it so much as we're being insulting as they're straightforward subclasses. They don't require a lot of additional insight or understanding of complex game mechanics, because every once in a while you get the subclass and it harkens back to a game mechanic in another piece of media created by the same creator that they wanted to tie in, and it gets a little bloated is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
I don't have the time and the patience sometimes to sort through it's through that to find where it connects is the best way to put it.
It's true. But yeah, I think we're going to call this stream quits. Thank you, everybody, for dropping by. And hopefully I see at least some of you tomorrow while we go. Hopefully we can all just, like, maybe we can make a powwow just all shitting on Ted Farrow's grave. That'd be fantastic. He deserves it.
That'd be nice.
The worst.
Just a collective circle.
3, 2, 1, free action poop.
Done.
Done? Yeah. Well, you know, that's always my free
we
action.
will say goodbye to everybody. Oh, well, hold on. I will just post the text and you can tell me. Tell me why. Well, actually, tell me what.
Oh. I got deep.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna use the buy command in YouTube chat to see how long it takes to come up, because Nightbot still hasn't answered me from the first one, so I don't even know if he's there in YouTube chat at the moment. Apologies if he's not. Though, to be fair, most people don't talk in YouTube chat anyway. They come on to Twitch chat. I don't feel as bad
Yeah, I
that
realize
Nightbot
that
isn't
now. I
working.
realize that now. I realize that if I pay attention to Twitch chat, I usually catch everything.
Yeah. That's just the way it is. But yeah, AWAS, let me know. Ooh, items. Okay, adding it in. Fist, what do you want to put in for? I saw that the poll didn't have any votes, so I'm assuming it didn't pop up for anybody. I don't. Twitch is weird.
I see the line for the topic, but I see no topic.
At some point, maybe it'll end up being like a one-shot supplements, or maybe it'll be a homework thing. We're gonna go through. Me and Shin went through those 80s themed items, those 80s and 90s themed items, and then we both went and got the digital copy of the full set. I think that would be real cool to go through at some point.
I think that's gonna be fun to. I think it's gonna be a fun one to dig for.
Dairy Wizards.
Good old Dairy Wizard.
I don't know which one that would fall into. Maybe one-shot supplements? I'm not sure. Anyway, we will see.
That's the cow level from Diablo.
Oh yes, the cow level. Yes. Oh my god, that's a level. That's a barbarian subclass we need. The moo.
The moo. Oh yes.
I'm not going to lie. I'm going to. So I'm running a groomsman one shot for DM Bacon, for his wedding party, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna suggest to Woody that he be a savage.
You should. I think you should.
Do you want to hit everything?
They...
This is for you.
Do you want to hit everything? And when it asks you why, hit it again. Have you ever had the desire to just beat the shit out of something? This may be the class for you.
But yes, we will see all of y'all for DM Roundtable next week!
Until then, good night.
I'm sure he's got a cow full. Damn. We gotta go through more of his stuff too. I'm going to go on to the, oh my god, what is their name? Arcane Athenaeum's subclasses list. And I'm gonna go look at the rest of them and add them to my list of stuff. And eventually we'll probably go through them too, because those were both really good subclasses.
Yeah, they weren't bad. They weren't bad at all.
I have hope.
I'm curious. I'm curious to see what else they've cooked up in the past.
Indeed. Bye everybody on Twitch.